my name is Rachel Amma, and today I am back with more easy, simple, delicious vegan meals for under £1. You guys really enjoyed it when I did this before, so I wanted to come back and do it again. To keep it nice and simple like before, I got all the ingredients from TESCO, just so that you guys can get some real kind of costing, but feel free to get it from other supermarkets, and a lot of food markets these days you can buy individual items and you'll be buying them without plastic, which is even better. So I really hope you guys enjoy these recipes. They are very new beginner friendly, very easy, and very, very tasty, because they have to be, right? So let's get straight into this video. So the first one that I want to share with you guys is classics, like absolute classics. Jacket potato and baked beans. Now this is a homemade recipe. It's really easy. You're having less preservatives, less added sugar, and you're still going to enjoy it, and there's going to be more nutrients in there. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, very easy but very tasty. So for this recipe, I have got some chives, which are optional, some onion shallots and some garlic, and I'm using haricot beans to make my beans. And then we've got a jacket potato, some tomato passata, and then I've got some watercress for the salad. So first I'm going to put my potato in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how much of a beast your oven is. Do a little salsa 1-2 step. Then I'm going to slice up my onion shallots. These can be a bit fidgety just because onion shallots are so small. So if you have one of those machines, this would probably be a bit easier, but if not, we make do. We can slice them up nice and small just with a knife. And then I'm just going to crush and slice up my garlic. Also, if you have one of those garlic tools, this is extra helpful, but if not, we continue to slice. We can slice it up nice and small. So to a pan, use water or oil depending on what you prefer, and then we're just going to put in our garlic and our onions. And we're going to cook this for about 5 minutes, just so that they can brown up and get nice and soft and tender and release their flavors. Then I'm adding my tomato passata. Then I followed that with a little bit of water. Then I added a pinch of salt and a bunch of black pepper. And then I added some balsamic vinegar for some acidity. And because I like my beans sweet, I added a pinch of maple syrup, which is optional, and you could use sugar if you prefer, just completely up to you. Then I'm just going to mix it up. And then I added my haricot beans, and you just want to cook this for about 15 minutes. The longer you cook it, the more the acidity leaves and the sweeter it gets, but then you don't want to run out of sauce, so it's up to you. So finally, my baked potato is ready. So I love doing a little cross and then popping it out in the center. But because I want to decorate it, I'm just going to pop it open properly and begin to add my homemade baked beans. And I'm sorry, but look how fluffy the potato comes out when you bake it in the oven, and how crunchy and crispy the outside is. So to go with it, I've just added bits of my watercress salad, sprinkled some chives on top, which are optional, added some more black pepper, added some lemon. You can use vegan butter for the jacket potato as well if you prefer. Finish with some sunflower seeds, just because it's kind of like a finishing thing for everything I do these days. So yeah, absolute classic jacket potato. Always oven baked when you want that kind of authentic, crispy outer layer, fluffy inside, so tasty. And obviously you can jazz it up. I know you can add barbecue flavors, paprikas, cumin. It just depends on how you want your baked beans. But if you want a classic, simple one, this is the one I go to, and it is still really tasty. So the second one I want to share with you is a creamy mushroom pasta. Just taken a step further because I wanted to add some more textures and flavors. Now normally when I make a creamy pasta sauce, I love to use cashews, but cashews in the UK are kind of pricey. So to keep it cost effective, we're not going to use cashews, but it still comes out creamy, it still comes out tasty. So let's get straight into it. So for this recipe, we're using some fresh parsley, spaghetti, some mushrooms, as well as a cup of almond milk, and some broccoli, garlic, and a few cherry tomatoes, the sweet ones. So I'm just going to slice up my broccoli. To keep it aesthetically pleasing, you would just use the heads, but that's just wasteful. So we're going to use the stalks and all. So I'm just going to slice them up nice and small, and then I'm also going to slice up some juicy cherry tomatoes, and I'm going to add this to the pot so that I can roast them for about 10 to 15 minutes. So to make sure they are flavoursome, I'm adding a pinch of garlic salt as well as some black pepper and a little bit of olive oil. Mix it up, and then, like I said, put it in the oven until you get that kind of roasted broccoli, roasted tomatoes. So to make my sauce, I'm going to slice up some red onions. You can use onion shallots, or you could use white onion to keep that kind of classic white creamy sauce look, but I'm a fiend for red onions, so I did go red onion crazy. So then I just sliced up my garlic and then sliced up my mushrooms. And then to a pan with either oil or water, I'm just going to add my garlic, onions and mushrooms. So I'm going to saute these for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to add some salt and some black pepper. And just cook it down. Get all those flavours popping and whatnot. Then I'm just going to slice up some fresh parsley. So we're adding our cup of almond milk, our fresh parsley, nutritional yeast, which is optional, but kind of essential, black pepper, and then I'm just going to mix it together. You can see here I am very red onion heavy at this point, but hey. So to thicken it up, you can use any kind of flour. I use chickpea flour. Then I'm going to cook my pasta, take my roasted veg out of the oven, and then add my pasta to the sauce. Mix in my roasted veg, and then finally just mix it all together. So it's creamy and mushroomy and nice. And then I'm just going to dish it up on the plate. Add some black pepper to finish, and don't forget to sprinkle a bit of lemon on for the acidity. It really adds a nice kick, and then it's finished. So the roasted broccoli and the roasted cherry tomatoes add some extra bursts of juicy flavors, which I love. The final one that I want to share with you guys is a very easy chickpea recipe. You could kind of call it Spanish infused because we're using paprika. So for this one, we're going to use sweet paprika, and it is very simple and very tasty. And obviously you can jazz it up again if you want to, but you can have it simply by itself and it does the job. I really hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get straight into it. So for this recipe, we're using a red onion, some spinach, some chickpeas, as well as some tomatoes, sweet paprika, brown rice, and some garlic. So first, I'm just gonna slice up my red onion, cut them into nice little small pieces, crush and slice up my garlic. And I'm just going to add this to my pot with either water or oil, up to you. Get all those flavors popping. Then I added some sweet paprika, mixed it in, let the flavors release, added a pinch of salt. Once it had cooked down and the onions are nice and soft, I added my chickpeas, and I'm just going to mix these up. And finally add my tomatoes. Give it a really good mix and let this cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I cook some brown rice, and then right at the end I turn the heat off the pan, and then I add my spinach. This needs to go in right at the end because you don't want to overcook the spinach. You just want it to be very lightly wilted and heated by the sauce. Tasty. So to dish it out, we've got our brown rice and our really simple, tasty chickpeas and spinach. Added some black pepper on top, added a pinch of salt, squeezed some lemon on top, and there we have it. Oh, and of course, me being me, I had to sprinkle some coriander on top. It's just everyday essentials, and it's in the garden, so I can't help myself. So simple, so delicious. If you've got space for avocados on the budget, add some avocados to it too. Super simple, super delicious. You can also make it with things like cannellini beans. That would be so tasty too. Add some vegan sausage if you want to. Really simple recipe that you can take a step further if you want to, or you can have basic and it's still delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed all of these recipes. I know I enjoyed eating all of these recipes. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it and you found it useful and you like the recipes. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Sunday. And let me know in the comments if you make similar recipes or if you make ones like it. If you guys have me on Instagram, you know that during the making of this, I was having a little rave, a little shubs in the house. I had music playing. That is just how I love to cook. But unfortunately, on YouTube, I cannot share the music I'm listening to because of copyright. So you don't get the full experience of cooking with Rach. But I do recommend when you are cooking, put your favourite songs on there and just have a party with it. Spread some love through your dancing, through your singing, sprinkle it into the food. It just makes it that much better. If you do have me on Instagram, please don't forget to let me know if you have made recipes similar to mine. I love to see you guys' creations and I get to share them as well. And that way we're kind of like encouraging and sharing more vegan, plant-based food recipes out there in the world, which is always a good thing. So I will see you guys next Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like if you liked it. And bye for now.
So we got hopes and dreams, we got ways and means.
Never had someone to show me love. I'm in front of me, see you on the corner. Pan the road, hotter than a sauna.